All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about something powerful today, how to brainwash yourself for success. And look, I know that sounds intense, but it's not about some kind of weird manipulation. It's actually about unification. It's about getting your whole mind, every part of you, rowing in the same direction to hit whatever goal you set for yourself. And we're even going to give you a 21-day challenge to make it stick.
But let me ask you this first, and be honest. Do you ever feel like you're literally fighting yourself? You know, like one part of you wants to wake up early, crush your goals, and be super disciplined, while another part just wants to hit snooze, scroll on your phone, and maybe order a pizza. Sound familiar?
Well, you are not imagining it. The core idea here is that inside you, there are basically two different selves. On one side, you've got the achiever. This is the part of you that wants to put in the work, to be disciplined, to grow. But on the other side, you've got the saboteur, and all it wants is comfort, procrastination, and distraction, right now. And these two, they're in a constant, relentless battle for control of you.
And you've got to understand, this isn't just a small disagreement now and then. This is an all-out war being fought inside your head. And the number of times these battles happen, it's probably going to shock you.
Get this, the sheer scale of this internal fight is staggering. We're talking between 1,500 and 3,000 times a week. That's how often your achiever and your saboteur are arguing over every little thing, from getting up on time to just checking one more notification. And here's the kicker, whoever wins these tiny battles is what ultimately sets the entire course of your life.
So how in the world does the weaker self, the saboteur, win so often? Well, it's because it has a secret weapon. Let's break down its strategy, because it's pretty sneaky. Okay, so the achiever's strength is pure logic, right? Critical thinking. It knows what's best for you in the long run. The saboteur, though, it operates on emotions and feelings. But here's the crazy twist. The saboteur is smart. It actually takes the achiever's own tool, logic, and twists it to use it against you.
I mean, does this sound familiar? The saboteur is way too clever to say, never get it done. No, instead it whispers something that sounds perfectly reasonable. I'll start fresh tomorrow. It uses this idea of a perfect Monday to justify putting things off today. It sounds logical, but it's a complete trap.
Or what about this one? You're in the zone, you're focused, and then your phone buzzes. The saboteur chimes in. Hey, just check it. Could be important. It'll only take a minute. And of course, an hour later, you're deep down a rabbit hole of social media, wondering where all your time went. And this same twisted logic is used to destroy all kinds of commitments. Oh, one slice won't hurt. You can't be too strict. See what it does? It paints discipline as this horrible, rigid thing, and indulgence as just being balanced. It is an absolute master of justification.
So the big question is, how do we fight back? We start with the very first rule in our 21-day challenge. It's called the opposite command, and it is designed to let you seize control in an instant.
The process here is incredibly simple and direct. Step 1, you hear that command from the saboteur, that urge to be lazy, to procrastinate, to get distracted. And step 2, you do the exact opposite. Immediately, no pausing, no debating. When it says rest, you work. When it tells you to scroll, you put the phone down. Period. And this isn't just some nice theory. Think about someone like David Goggins, who is famous for his mental toughness. He literally lives by this rule. When his mind tells him to stay inside because it's freezing cold, he uses that as his signal to go run twice as far. He systematically does the opposite of what his comfort-seeking mind is screaming at him to do. And that is exactly how he built that legendary mental strength.
But here's the thing. The opposite command only works if you can actually hear the saboteur's voice in the first place. And that's the problem, right? Most of the time, we're just running on autopilot. So that brings us to rule number 2, become the watcher. This is all about how you break out of that autopilot mode. Let's try a little experiment right now. Wherever you are, just silently ask your own mind this simple question. What is my next thought? Don't try to answer it. Just ask the question and then wait. Did you notice that? For just a second, there was probably silence. The endless stream of mental chatter just stopped. Why? Because by asking the question, you, the real you, the conscious observer, the achiever, you stepped into the driver's seat. The saboteur's automatic thoughts can't really function when you're watching them directly. This proves you have the power to interrupt the pattern.
Practicing this awareness is the second key habit for our challenge. You start to see the thoughts before they turn into actions. You begin to snap out of that autopilot mode. That mindless scrolling and snacking, it starts to fade away because you're regaining conscious control. This is the absolute foundation of taking back control of your life.
Okay, so we've learned how to defy the saboteur and how to watch its patterns. Now for the final habit, and this is a big one. Rule 3, speak its language. We're actually going to use the saboteur's own weapons, emotions and feelings, to reprogram our own minds to get on our side.
Here's a powerful 5-minute exercise you can do right before you go to sleep. First, you just sit quietly and close your eyes. Then, you intensely visualize your goal for the next morning. Let's say it's waking up at 5:30 a.m. But don't just think about it. You have to feel it. Feel your hand hitting the alarm clock. Feel yourself lacing up your running shoes. Feel that crisp morning air on your face. You repeat this visualization, but you flood it with positive emotion.
And the final piece of the puzzle is to replace the saboteur's negative junk with empowering affirmations. Things like, I am super confident, I am focused and disciplined, I am the person who ignores distractions. Now the key here isn't just to say the words, you have to feel the words. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between something that really happened and something you vividly imagined with intense emotion. So if you repeat these enough, it just accepts them as your new reality.
So what's the whole point of these 3 daily habits? The opposite command, becoming the watcher, and visualization. Well, the ultimate goal of this 21-day challenge is to unify your two selves. It's about ending that internal civil war so you can finally become one single, focused, powerful force moving in the exact direction you choose.
The war for your own life. It's won or lost in these small, daily battles inside your mind. And now, you have the strategy, you have the tools. So, really, the only question left is this. Are you ready for the 21